Welcome back to another explainer. Today, we're going to break down the anatomy of an absolute visual marvel. We're talking about a breathtaking, cinematic journey into an Indian forest right in the middle of the monsoon season. We aren't just looking at some random footage today. Oh no, we're unpacking a literal masterclass in environmental storytelling and documentary filmmaking. We're going to track the chronology, the pacing, and just the sheer technical brilliance of this ultra-realistic wildlife scene. I really want you to focus on how these specific visuals translate into a deeply immersive, emotional experience. Let's get right into it.
Boom, a picture instantly forms in your mind, right? Shimmering blue and emerald green feathers. We're immediately introduced to our magnificent main subjects, a majestic male Indian peacock standing gracefully beside a beautiful peahen. The source material is incredibly specific about these colors, the blue, that vibrant emerald green, because, well, in the ultra-realistic 8K resolution we'll be discussing today, these aren't just flat colors. They're dynamic, shimmering elements that actively interact with the environment around them. It's really the visual anchor for our entire explainer today. Section 1. The monsoon setting, atmosphere and stage. Now, notice how the changing weather acts as a natural pacing mechanism for this whole story. We start off in hour 1 with these dark rain clouds gathering, which naturally moves into heavier rain by hour 2. But then, check out the jump in the chronology. We transition all the way to week 4, where time has passed naturally, ultimately culminating in week 5, where that gorgeous golden sunlight finally breaks through. You see, the environment isn't static here. It's a dynamic character itself. It dictates exactly what the wildlife is doing, and honestly, more importantly, it dictates how we, the viewers, actually feel as we watch them. The mood is just perfectly set right before the storm truly hits. Quote, "Dark rain clouds gather as gentle rain begins to fall." It's right in this exact atmospheric pocket, that calm right before the storm, that the real action begins. The peacock lets out its natural call, totally breaking the quiet of the forest, and then slowly, deliberately spreads its enormous, colorful tail. That gentle rain, it provides the absolute ultimate dramatic backdrop for this big reveal. Moving on to Section 2, the courtship dance, rhythmic climax. Let's be clear, this is not just your everyday raw nature recording. It's totally elevated into a documentary masterpiece using soft cinematic lighting that just beautifully highlights the lush environment. It uses slow motion shots to give a real sense of weight to every single movement. And of course, it's all captured in ultra-realistic 8K resolution. It's exactly the specific combination of techniques that transforms what could just be a bird out in the rain into a breathtaking, highly produced work of art. And the payoff for all that crazy technology? Raindrops sparkle on every single feather. I mean, just imagine the visual power of this for a second. The peacock is turning in slow circles, performing this totally mesmerizing dance with its feathers fully open. The peahen is just watching calmly, and they're completely surrounded by lush green trees, thick mist, and colorful wildflowers. But because of that 8K resolution and the slow motion pacing, we aren't just seeing a wide shot of a bird. We are capturing the brilliant microsensory details, every single raindrop catching the light, literally sparkling on those shimmering emerald green and blue feathers as he spins. It is just incredibly captivating. That brings us to Section 3, a growing family, calm and grounded. After walking proudly through that heavy rain, the peacock and peahen begin to wander together. First, they make their way across a lush green meadow. Second, they navigate through these winding forest paths. And third, they finally rest near a small, flowing stream. The camera work here is incredibly intentional. It utilizes the rich, fresh greenery and the cool mist of the forest to completely surround them, which really emphasizes their deep, deep connection to the environment. Now, I want you to notice the distinct contrast in how the camera tells this part of the story. On one hand, we have the grand landscapes, right? The wide, sweeping shots of those meadows, forests, and streams we just talked about. But compare that to the intimate details. The documentary style seamlessly pushes in to capture extreme close-up shots of their eyes, the delicate texture of their folded feathers, and even their little footprints sinking right into the wet grass. By shifting back and forth between the grand environment and these deeply intimate physical realities of the wet forest floor, the filmmakers anchor us right there in the mud and the grass with them. You really feel like you're there. And that leads us to a pretty vital temporal shift. Quote, "Time passes naturally." The peahen is shown caring for several adorable peachicks. So we're no longer just looking at a courtship anymore. We're looking at a family. These tiny, adorable chicks are shown happily following their parents through the fresh green forest. And there's this really beautiful, protective tone established here. The camera makes absolutely sure to show the majestic male peacock standing guard, watching over his new family protectively as they explore the undergrowth. Which leads us perfectly into Section 4, the golden finale, emotional resolution. A light rain begins to fall once again, and the peacock opens its magnificent tail one more time for a spectacular second dance. But this isn't the intense, dark storm from hour 1. No, this is almost magical. Water droplets glisten softly on the feathers. Butterflies flutter nearby, adding this incredible sense of life to the frame. A literal rainbow actually appears in the distance. And perhaps the absolute best part, the tiny chicks just watch their father curiously. All of these uplifting components stack together beautifully to build an incredibly emotional climax. Because at the end of the day, a true masterpiece isn't just about having an 8K resolution, is it? It's about emotional storytelling. It's the smooth camera movements. It's the volumetric lighting that casts these visible sunbeams through the trees. It's the high dynamic range, ensuring every single shadow and bright highlight is perfectly detailed. And it's how all of that combines with the moment the rain finally stops. The birds start singing, the golden sunlight breaks through the clouds to make the fresh greenery shine, and the majestic wildlife actions conclude with this beautiful family walking peacefully together toward a glowing horizon. That synergy between the technical tools and the raw natural beauty, that is what creates a profound, uplifting narrative. Which brings us to a pretty thought-provoking question for you to take away today. What makes a wildlife story truly emotional? Is it the raw, unedited nature it captures? Or is it the cinematic lens, the slow motion, the soft lighting, the 8K framing that we view it through? It's a genuinely fascinating interplay between reality and documentary filmmaking. Definitely think about that the next time you find yourself captivated by a nature scene. Thanks so much for joining me to break down this cinematic masterpiece in today's Explainer, and I'll catch you next time.